where Kutuk places the fish traps. These traps, made of chicken wire, are open at one end. With the
I think this is where we shake hands.
Key to creating history.
Now that we know who you are, I know who I am.
Here are 3 quotations. I have a much longer list of quotations, but this is just 3 that are kind of representative, each from a different observer of a different hunter-gatherer band. So here's Yumi Goso, who studied the Paracana in South America, but she's also writing about hunter-gatherers in general here. Hunter-gatherers do not give orders to their children. For example, no adult announces bedtime at night. Children remain around adults until they feel tired and fall asleep. Adults do not interfere with children's lives. They never beat, scold, or behave aggressively with them, physically or verbally, nor do they offer praise or keep track of their development. This is another theme that I heard over and over again of not hitting children. In fact, one anthropologist told me that among the Batak that he studied in Indonesia, to hit a child is really a taboo, on the same order as murdering somebody or the same order as incest. It's in that category that really is regarded as a taboo. You just would not hit a child. Child abuse really can't occur in these cultures because if you had a parent, if a parent thinks that they can hit a child, nobody else would let the child do it, the parent do it. The people would immediately intervene, try to comfort and calm down the parent who's obviously behaving in a strange way, and take that child into their own hut for that period of time. So here's another quotation. The idea that this is my child or your child does not exist. Deciding what another person should do, no matter what his age, is outside the Yakwana vocabulary of behaviors. There is great interest in what everyone does, but no impulse to influence, let alone coerce anyone. The child's will is his motive force. This is not actually an anthropologist. This is Jean Leidloff in the book called The Continuum Concept that some of you may be aware of. It's become quite a popular book, or was for many years, especially among parents who are interested in natural parenting of one sort or another. And here's yet another one. Infants and young children are allowed to explore their environments to the limits of their physical capacities and with minimal interference from adults. Thus, if a child picks up a hazardous object, parents generally leave it to explore the dangers on its own. The child is presumed to know what it is doing. One of my colleagues at Boston College is actually one of the researchers who studied a group called the FA, a hunter-gatherer group called the FA in Africa. And she's shown me slides and videos of little toddlers playing with machetes, playing with fire, adults in the background not paying any attention to this. And I asked her, you know, do the kids ever get hurt doing this? Do they ever cut themselves or burn themselves? And she said, yes, they do. But the adults don't worry that much about it. They don't, so yeah, they cut themselves or they burn themselves. That happens on occasion. Another anthropologist said that when he asked the adults why they let the kids do that, they would say, well, how else are they going to learn? How else are they going to learn how to use fire and how to use knives and so on and so forth? This is the belief. Now, they don't cut themselves or burn themselves very often. But there's the belief that children, even little children, can be trusted to play with dangerous things. On the other hand, the poison darts are kept way up high out of reach. The things that could not just hurt you but actually kill you are not seen as playthings. So the first condition is a clear understanding that education is the child's responsibility. When children know that they're responsible for their education, they take that responsibility. When they believe, they're led to believe that somebody else is responsible for their education and all they have to do is do what they're told, then they tend to do that in the minimal way and they don't take responsibility for their education. Second condition, unlimited opportunity to play, explore, and pursue your own interests. Unlimited time, not an hour a day, not 2 hours a day, unlimited time. It takes time to try out different things. It takes time to get bored, to overcome boredom. You can't interrupt that with bells and telling people constantly what to do and expect people to really develop a passion. 3, opportunity to play with the tools of the culture, to really play with the tools of the culture. In a hunter-gatherer culture, those would be bows and arrows and knives and fire and digging sticks. In our culture, of course, the main tool is a computer. And it's not surprising that children everywhere in our culture love to play with computers. They know in their bones that this is the tool of the culture, and they need to spend a lot of time with it. So it becomes, in a sense, an extension of their own body. Access to a variety of caring adults who are helpers, not judges. How important that last part is. Helpers, not judges. The last person you want to go to help you learn something is somebody who's evaluating you. You're nervous about that person. That person is a person you go to in the frame of mind of trying to impress that person with how much you know, not to say, I really don't know this and I would like some help. Free age mixing among children and adolescents are absolutely key to the school. The school would not work if it were children all the same age, because children don't have much to learn from others who are the same age. They learn from children who are older and from children who are younger than themselves. 6, immersion in a stable, moral, democratic community. Communities in which every child knows that their ideas and their actions influence the others involved in the community. So they're growing up in a setting where they feel responsible not just for themselves, but for the community within which they are developing.
That's just amazing for me to see where it came from, just small hotel ballrooms, small land centers, my mom's basement, to selling out Madison Square Garden, selling out the Staples Center in minutes.
As well, Abramu already had the taunt down on the stick save, make it 2! Team Dignitas!
Like, there is no surprise anymore, and the numbers make sense and they're big. So whenever I hear a stat, I just kind of like nod, give a little wink and chuckle, because it's just gonna get bigger. Like, we've just barely scratched the surface.